Exciting episode today. Margaret and Jeanne are back 1 year after having their kids gone to college. Remember our episode we did together about launching their 2 kids to college and how difficult it was. And I just wanted to follow up with them now that I've sent my kid to college and talk to them about what the first year was like, what they anticipate the second year to be like, and just kind of talk to them about my experience. We talk about a lot more than just that, as we tend to do on this podcast. So I think it was a great conversation. I had so much fun with both of them. They're lovely human beings. I love every time I see them. And I'm so lucky to get to share them with all of you. Don't forget, if you're looking for wife for the party, my website has changed. It's now BertieBoyProductions.com. That's BertyBoy Productions.com. You can go there, click the wife of the party tab. You can send me an email. You can check out my episodes. You can check out the merch. And you can check out what Bert's doing. So that's where you find me, BertieBoyProductions.com. So I hope you enjoy this episode with Margaret and Jeanne talking about sending their kids to college for year 2. Yeah, you look beautiful. You put your makeup on in 405?
I did. It's been an hour in my car. What
Oh, my
else was
bless
I
your
gonna
heart.
do?
Well, thank you for coming all the way up here.
You're welcome.
Did y'all want some to drink? Do you want some wine or some
I
water?
just had 2 Diet Cokes on the way here.
You did.
I'll have water.
You have water? Okay. Halston, would you mind bringing us some water?
Thanks, Austin.
Thanks, Halston. Can you hear us, Halston? I can't hear you back. Anyway,
Wait, do you have an earpiece?
no, I don't.
Oh, that'd be so cool if you did.
Wouldn't that be cool?
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Sorry. No, you're good. Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, I was
By
gonna
the way,
pass
I was
it
at the
around. Thank
Wiltern on Friday night seeing Marcus Mumford, and they serve liquid death there as well.
They
Oh,
did?
They did.
Nice. All right, so I dropped Georgia off.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm actually shocked.
Yeah.
I think the late start,
Yeah.
Yeah.
You were wanting her to go. She was wanting out.
she was so ready that I felt bad for her.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
because she
Because
was
all their friends have left, and
Yeah.
they're stuck here.
a
Yeah.
month. They
Yeah.
left a month
And 1 month
before.
into college is in a world. It's just
Well,
a
and there's
world.
another friend of hers who also went to school at SCAD, which is also on
Yep.
the same
quarter system.
quarter system.
Mhm.
So he also left. He's doing great, but it's
That's
like
good.
it's funny because his mom was doing great and so happy like that he was thriving.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
And I got a call last night. And it was like she doesn't call on Sunday night, so I was kind of like, oh, I'm going to answer this, even though we were watching something, and she was really emotional.
Oh,
And
I'm
just-
waiting for it.
Yeah,
I think it's going to show up.
It will.
yeah.
Because it's only been a week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I keep going, am I a bad person?
No.
No.
It'll hit you because I thought I was going to celebrate. I'm telling you, I was going to have a party to send her off with.
Yeah.
And I couldn't do it. But it didn't hit me until I think like a week or 2. It wasn't like it led me the last month, but now with
Yeah.
Isabel being a senior,
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my God, I'm supposed to have Thanksgiving. I'm gonna be an empty nester.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
No, my friends in my
she-
neighborhood are having empty nester parties right now.
Oh no.
They
Crazy.
are?
Yes.
That's kind of amazing.
Yeah.
I
I don't
kinda
know
do
that I'll
that.
be doing that.
At some point, maybe.
Maybe. I don't know. I think about it a lot now because it's becoming, Sasha's a junior, and you and I are in the same situation. So we can talk about that in 2 years.
Exactly.
But I think about it now more and more about like I don't like, what do I want to do? I mean, I still have a full-time job, so I'll be working, but like I'm gonna obviously. I mean, she drives now, so a lot of what I was doing, being the taxi, is done.
Yep.
But I don't know. Like I have to figure out what it is. All my volunteering has always been through the schools.
Yep.
Yeah, mine too.
So I mean, I'm sure it's going to be easy for me to find a new place to give my volunteer time to, but that's weird. And like I like hiking, but like that's not going to be my thing.
That's not your life, right?
It's not
You're
going to be my
gonna hike.
thing.
I like traveling.
I like traveling a lot too, but then I have a job now, like that actually has like, I love it, which is great. Actually, that part is, I feel like at this stage in my life to finally have something that I actually like feel really good about is good. But I don't know what I'm going to do.
Well, now, how, because we talked last year when your first kid went away, which was a year before mine,
Mhm.
right? So now it's a year later. You're a year ahead of me. So what was different about sending them back to school this year? Was something easier or harder? Was it neither here nor there?
Well, I didn't go.
Yeah.
He just flew back by himself because he's in school in Boston. There's a storage company. My gosh, I mean, the stuff that exists now. There's a storage company that picks up their stuff in boxes, puts it in storage for the summer. And when he showed up at his new dorm sophomore year, the boxes were there waiting. So he just left and got on a plane. So I didn't go. Like last year, that was big. Like we went and there was a bunch of families and it was planning dinners and how we're going to move him in and then being in the room and decorating. None of that happened. Like I keep joking with him this year because he has a suite where there's like a living room and every once in a while he'll send like a picture of something. And I'm like, you guys need some, some pillows and some throws. And he's like, do not send pillows or throws.
That's funny,
I'm for sure sending. Yeah, I'm for sure sending pillows and throws, but like he like that. So it's just weird. I've never been. I haven't been in his room this year. So that part was weird, and I felt like he got a little sad before he was going back, which made me sad.
Oh.
But once he got there, he was totally fine. Like he was totally immersed and happy. But it was just I didn't even go. Like he just went, got on a plane. That was it. It felt really weird.
It felt weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like what? Like he's really an adult now?
Yeah. And just like this is just life now. Like when he comes home, he's just visiting.
Right.
Like that's it. And so he's going back to where he lives most of the year.
Yeah.
He's there more than he's home.
Yeah.
So he, just like we had a great summer, great visit. I know, but
it's killing me.
No, but that's like that. What I was saying. That I also feel like so when my friend called me last night, sad, who's his child's been gone as long as Georgia has, is what I don't don't mask what's happening because it's real.
Yeah.
And I said, this is really hard. He's doing great, which like at least one part of the story is great.
Yeah.
Is he's thriving and he's happy. You're sad because that part of your life is over.
Yeah.
The part of your life where your children are home and live at home and you're this family of 4, which they were, is over.
Yeah.
And he comes home and he visits now and that's it. And that's really, really hard.
Yeah. I think it is hard. And it's really healthy.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you want them to do.
Yeah.
There's tissue right there if you need tissue.
Well, I was listening to your Georgia and Isla podcast.
Yeah.
I love those girls. And you're right when you said that I made this family, I raised y'all, and now you're gonna leave me.
I know.
And I'm gonna be lonely.
But you raised them to do that, I guess,
That's
right?
exactly it. You nailed it.
Yeah. But that means you did a good job, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Your prize is loneliness and shit, and you're by yourself, and I see you when you decide.
Yeah.
That's your big booby prize. It's like a
Totally.
booby prize.
Yes.
I had that realization like in the summer. I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
I was an only child and I made this family of 4 and now I'm a freaking only child again because I'm married to someone who's never home.
Me too. What am I gonna do when it's
that's what I'm gonna do.
You're going to come to my house.
I'm gonna hang out with you.
Let's make a calming, girls. Let's have a ladies and animals call.
Please.
That's what I'll do.
Because that leaves for 6 months.
Because
Yes,
it's gonna
I
happen
know.
to us at the same time.
I don't even.
I know Matt's gone like Tom is gone
Yeah.
like for big chunks. Bert at least comes and goes.
Yeah.
But I mean, last night Bert and I were home and I was like, let's turn on the hot tub and get in the hot tub. And we got in the hot tub and we had a really good at-home date.
Uh-huh.
Even though Isla was upstairs doing her ASL homework and we had a great date in and out of the hot tub.
Good for you.
If you know what I mean. And I was like, I guess this is the
sober
future.
sex.
Yeah. Sober because it's sober October. Yes, totally. But I was like, I guess this is what you have to do then, is that you make your fun in a different way because it's just the two of you. So you can go back to like the way you were when you were dating to some point. Because, my mom was super frisky when I was a kid, and it made me really uncomfortable. So I never wanted my kids to I mean, obviously I want them to see me and Bert affectionate.
Yeah.
But not to see us like this hypersexual, like when you're dating where you're like all the time, Not that I want to have sex all the time, but I was like, my focus shifted when I had kids.
Yeah,
where I
yes,
went, this
that's all
just
you were
needs to
thinking
calm
about.
down.
Yeah.
Because I don't need anybody coming in and checking shit out that don't need to be seen. And I'm not going to hook up with you in the hot tub with, little kids in the house. I'm not doing that.
Mommy, she hit
I'm not
me.
doing that. I would never do that to my kids. But I was like, oh, I see now the future could be really fun in the way it was fun when we were single. And if I focus on that, maybe that will make me feel better
That's a good point.
than thinking about, I can go and meet him for a weekend somewhere.
I know. That'll
be
You'll
great.
have the
Travel.
flexibility of
Yeah.
doing
when
that.
somebody says, "Hey, meet me in a mall," you're like, "Oh, okay."
If you say so.
I turned down so many fun trips because I didn't have anybody,
Yeah. You're the only parent.
Yeah, the only parent and not really family that would step up and keep my kids for a week. But
Yeah,
gosh,
totally.
I did. I
Yeah.
turned down a week in the Amalfi Coast with my friend Michael,
Oh my
who
God.
I'd originally traveled to Europe with in 2001. And I couldn't get anybody to take my kids for 10 days. Nobody.
10
I was
days is a long
offering.
ask.
10 days is a long ask.
Long ask.
I will remind you.
Oh, yes.
I
you,
did
You
it.
took it for a long time, didn't you? How long was that? 3 weeks?
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Oh, wow.
We had a friend who had 4 kids, 2 boys and 2 girls. I took the girls, and my friend Indira took the boys, while she and her husband went to France for 2 weeks.
Wow.
It was a lot because the little girl was Mimi was 2.5,
She was
Okay.
little, yeah.
and she
That's it. I wouldn't do little
and
like
she
that.
had a really hard time understanding. But we got into a groove, and it was all right. But it was a lot.
That
And
was a
2
very
weeks.
big
That's
give.
insane.
Yeah.
That was a very big give.
And we would get together. It was like we were a divorced family because she had the boys and we had the girls, and they missed each other. They're a
Yeah.
family.
Yeah.
So we actually would meet for dinner. We'd be like, let's meet at In-N-Out tonight at 7 so the kids can see each other.
That's
Good to bring
so
them together.
funny.
That's cute.
It was funny.
Oh.
But like, I just think about that. Like those,
2 weeks.
The oldest is in college too.
I
and-
know. The youngest is and then a junior. And
Yeah.
then, but yeah, I don't know. I was talking to my therapist about how I'm feeling about Georgia being gone. And then I'm going to ask you what she just answered. And I keep thinking something's wrong with me because I'm the only person that hasn't broken down that I know. I'm the only one. Everybody else has had that phone call that you got on Sunday night.
Mhm.
And I keep going, I'm sure it's going to come at some point, but I'm just so excited for her.
Yeah.
And she's having so much fun. And she was very much way past overdue leaving.
Mhm.
Hearing all her friends having all these good times and her not getting to yet was awful for her. And I felt terrible for her. So
Especially coming out of COVID. She lost her junior year in COVID.
Yeah.
That's an
Totally.
important and half of her sophomore year.
Yep, she did. And she was just ready. She was so ready. So
I'm so excited for her.
I am too. She's doing really great too.
Good.
Yeah, she's so funny. She was like, she's going, we're not saying where she's going, but she's going to a school that has football.
Yay, that's where Bella
Right.
wants to go. She's like, she wants that raw. I'm like, what are you going to study? She's like, I don't know. I just want to go there.
The
That's all.
football.
She wants. In fact, she wants early decision there.
Oh yeah? Yeah.
Did you do that?
Yeah.
Okay.
She knew.
She did. I
Yeah.
think she did.
Yeah.
As soon as we walked on that campus, she knew.
I'm so happy for
But
her.
she,
Yeah.
all summer, I was like, there's a sports package. You pay $100, you go to any sporting event. I was like, you need to buy that, but I can't buy it for you. It's through your portal. I'm not going to any sporting events. I don't know what you're talking about. And I went, just buy it. Just buy it. And then you have it. And if you need it, you'll have it. Mom, I'm not going to any sporting events. I don't even like football. I don't like any of that. And last thing on her list, I made a list of 12 things she had to do before she moved. And the last thing she completed was that sports ticket. So I look, I'm texting her, she's not answering. And if she's not answering for a while, I'm like, well, where is she? Is she in her dorm? Is she at a party? Just so I know kind of what to expect. I looked and she's at the football stadium. And I texted her, I was like, are you having fun at the game? All caps, I'm having so much fun. This is the most amazing time ever. We're winning. I can't believe it. The next day she called and she was like, football is amazing because, she went to all girls Catholic school.
Yeah.
And even though she had the brother school that had football, it's not the same.
No, it's not the same.
It's not the
Because
same.
we where Grace and Isabel go, it's football and it's a big deal.
Yes,
and
it's
I think
like
that's all they
school
do there.
spirit.
Football and baseball. It's what they're known for.
Right.
Sporty.
It's very sporty.
Yeah.
And it's a different kind of mentality. That school spirit doesn't, it always ends up being about sports, but school spirit's super freaking fun.
It is. They don't have that
So
at Grace's
fun.
school. She doesn't have things like that.
No.
They don't even have sororities that live on campus. They're on campus, but there are no houses.
Uh-huh.
So
Where do they live? Do they live in dorms?
Yeah.
They have
She-
sorority dorm?
Mhm. No.
Oh, no sorority
No
living.
sorority housing. There's no sorority living. There's none of that.
Interesting.
It's not even a big deal. There's only 8 sororities on her campus.
It's
Okay.
probably better, maybe.
Could be.
Yeah.
It's not a really huge school, though, is
No,
it?
it's very small. Every
Yeah.
year I'm like, are you going to leave? Are you staying? 'Cause I thought she'd go. Her first school, she wanted to go to Georgia. We took her to Athens and that was it. One game, one Athens downtown. She was like, I'm
totally see her at
living.
University of Georgia.
Me too. She didn't even apply.
Changed her
everything
mind that
changed.
much, huh?
Yeah.
And then she ended up in the tiniest school. I think there's 6,000.
Wow.
Yeah. My son's school's even smaller than that.
Really?
Yeah. They're
Wow.
like 4. I
Well, she
think.
loves it. She's
Yeah, so does he.
she's staying.
I think that, yeah. But she's also in a town where there's other big colleges. Like, and
Yeah.
so is he.
Yeah.
So
Mm.
it, like, you can still, if you want that feel, you can go to it.
Mhm.
But then
They do. They go to the
Yeah.
other schools for that.
Yeah.
There's a lot of schools in San Diego, actually.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah, there are a lot of schools down there.
Yeah.
My daughter was not interested in the state of California at all.
So neither was
Neither was
my
Isabel.
son.
No, not at all.
She's like, I need to go far, far away.
Sasha
Yeah.
says she isn't either, but we're still gonna look at some places.
Just close, just in case. Just in case.
Yeah.
Well, Isla's meeting with Georgia's same college counselor, and she came in today and was like, here's the schools I'm thinking about. Bam, 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 bam. And I was like, wow, somebody's motivated.
Wow.
I didn't expect that from her to be so like kind of into it.
Yeah.
Because she's always said, yeah, I'll go. But she was like, no, these are the school that have the best accommodations for dyslexia. And so we're going to start there. And I was like, okay, one's in DC. I'm like,
That's
what?
awesome.
I know.
My
One's
whole
in
family's
DC.
there.
One is one's in Denver.
We're going to look at Boulder.
Are you?
Yeah.
That would be nice.
Boulder's beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful campus. It was beautiful.
I can't wait. I've actually never been to Colorado.
No?
I've
Colorado's so pretty.
been all over
So
the world. I've not been
pretty.
to Colorado.
Boulder's
They're so
gorgeous.
nice.
Where should I go? We're going for the week after Christmas.
I mean, Denver and Boulder are both great
For the week after
places to
Christmas?
visit.
Where should you go?
Mm-hmm. Somewhere in Colorado. I'm going to go. We're going to visit Boulder, and should we go all the way to Telluride, or should we stay in Aspen or Breckenridge? Have you
I
done
don't
any?
know. I'm not familiar enough.
I've been to
I looked on- I
Telluride
looked
and
on a
it's
map.
awesome.
To where?
Telluride's beautiful.
Telluride, it's beautiful. It's just really challenging to get to.
It's really impossible to get
Yeah,
to.
and in winter it can be really, really
Yeah, that's what I'm
challenging
worried
to
about.
get in and out. So I would
That's what I'm
stay
worried-
closer.
especially coming from Denver, because I
Mhm.
have to go to Denver because we have to go to Boulder.
Yeah. I don't know. You know what? Bert's cameraman, John Mans, is from Boulder. Is like born and raised in Denver. So he'd probably know. I'll ask him. He's in the other room. So what was different for you this year when she left?
Well, I drove her. Matt was still in Rome. And Isabel stayed home. And we drove her until she got a new car, and it literally got dropped off. We waited for it. We learned how to use it, and she triggered on its maiden voyage back to school. She moved off campus. She's living across the street in an apartment with her best friend from high school.
No way.
Yes, they haven't left each other's side since 9th grade. I don't know if that's healthy, but they love each other. I
It's
love
working.
Why
Yeah,
is it
yeah.
unhealthy?
Yeah.
Doesn't-
It's working.
Yeah. I think it's
Yeah.
great.
Well, I wish anyhow, they're different sororities, so that's really good.
That is good.
That is good because they spend so much time together. I spent the night. I got to stay in a room. It was better. I didn't. I took the train back because we drove her car, which is the best. Do that.
Yeah.
Have you ever taken the train to San Diego?
Yeah. It's awesome.
Okay, so I took the train back, and I wasn't like I was at the train station. She dropped me off just a little old town. And I do get to, I hate to walk away from her. It's
Yeah.
so weird to leave my child someplace.
Yeah.
I just didn't like it. It didn't
Yeah.
it felt like last year. I remember when I was driving away, I was like, this feels so wrong.
Mhm.
This goes against every grain in my body.
Mhm.
I'm a mother and I go by my instincts, and this is not right, but I knew it was right.
Yeah.
I knew I had to leave her there. And it felt like that again, but it was easier. I'm overwhelmed because I'm thinking about Isabel now too, because
Yeah.
we're doing this is our senior year. But I've gotten used to it.
Yeah.
It's not easier.
Yeah.
It's not easier. You're just gotten used to
You
it.
get used to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I see what you mean. I cried when we drove away from Georgia too. I know that feeling. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I felt like this is
Yeah, this is
really-
my body.
I
says,
can't
"Turn
believe I'm
around."
leaving
Yes.
her. Like I'm
Yeah.
leaving her here.
We were abandoning her at a fire station.
And Bert's like sobbing in the back seat. so I was
Yeah.
like trying to talk us through it. It's okay. This is
And
normal.
how's
This is
Isla
totally fine.
doing? How's Isla doing?
Apparently Georgia calls her almost every day and tells her what's going on. Georgia does not call me or Bert,
Mhm.
but she's calling Isla.
That's nice.
So I think it did. I love both my children. They are very different children.
Mhm.
My older daughter was very overbearing to my younger daughter. So my younger daughter spent a lot of time kind of folding inward, kind of hiding herself a little bit. because her somewhat aggressive older sister was sometimes not super safe. And as much as I parented that, I couldn't really completely fix it. I tried for a long time. And so at the end of the day, I'd have to tell each of them, that's who she is. That's who she is. Let's try to be respectful, not be so overbearing to your sister, and understand that her overbearing is not out of trying to just be an asshole. It's just kind of who she is. But also their value system has a couple of differences. Like Georgia can be a gossip. Isla believes gossiping is like almost a sin. And so when she hears her sister gossip, she's like, I just don't know why she would do that. I mean, it's just so upsetting to hear her talking about people. And then she'll be nice to them. I don't understand. It's so unnerving to her. But I know that that's very typical girl behavior. To gossip is something that girls in high school do. And Georgia's not mean.
And 50-year-old women do.
And 50-year-old women. Exactly. So I keep trying to impress upon Isla that this is not a horrible, like, I cannot trust her. But seeing something as simple as talking trash about this girl, and then this girl walking up to her in the parking lot and being nice to her, makes Isla go, "Oh, you're a liar." And you go,
"No, black and white.
No, you're not a liar. You're just different." So can you meet in the middle for Mama, please?
Yeah.
And I could never really get them to meet in the middle.
When do they start?
When do they
start? Because they're close now. So when did it change?
Oh, when did it change? This summer, actually. I took all my Girl Scouts to my dad's lake house, and then Georgia and two friends joined us, and then a couple of Girl Scouts left, and Isla and a Girl Scout and another friend, Dakota, stayed, and the six of them were together. And I just hung out with my dad and let them just kind of be a pack of six, and they really gelled. And I think Isla figured out her sister on that trip.
Oh,
and
nice.
Because they remained separate. They're 2 years apart. So they had separate friend groups and separate understandings of each other, I think. And then once Isla watched Georgia in this friend group, I think she figured out what all this like shit talking, trash talking, it was just that. It was just shit talk. And I'm not sure Isla was really mature enough to understand that that's what it was until now,
Interesting.
Isla's she's a July birthday. She's a little young, and she is very black and white, and she doesn't do that. Isla does not gossip.
Yeah.
She does not talk trash. She's not a backstabber.
Yeah, keep secrets. Like that's like Isabel.
She
can keep a secret. She'll keep
to
everybody.
death do you part.
Yeah.
That girl would die with
I
a
wouldn't
secret.
tell Grace a secret.
Georgia got busted telling Isla's secrets to friends that then would come and say, Isla, so Georgia said blah, blah, blah.
Yeah,
and then Isla's like, betrayed.
I'm never telling you anything ever
Exactly.
again. Yeah.
That's the difference in personalities, right? Where Georgia's like, well, the secret was so heavy, I couldn't hold it.
Yeah.
And Isla's like, you're supposed to hold it till death. I'm your sister.
Yeah.
It's just that stuff.
Or like Grace is like, who can keep that kind of a secret?
I know, right? That's the way Georgia would be. You can't trust me with that. I can't hold it by
But how
myself.
sweet that she calls her every day.
So she calls her every day.
That's so nice.
And I think it started with that trip to the lake, because it was kind of a little bit of a leveler. Isla's really good in the water. And so she's like, of all the kids there, she's probably the best in the water, and then Dakota, and then these older girls. So for any kind of water ski, anything
She
they did in
ruled
the
it.
water, so it kind of leveled the playing field a little bit. And then all summer, then Georgia started including Isla in, Georgia's friends practically lived here all summer, which I loved. But they would always say, hey, Isla, come get in the pool. Hey, Isla, come watch this movie. Hey, Isla. So I think it just really, if that had happened the summer of junior year, the girls would have had a very different year, senior year. But we were in a pandemic.
Yeah.
So that's another thing I felt like was robbed from them, because they spent their pandemic together, but just the two of them. So to see them in a social situation together was very unnerving for Isla. Georgia took it and ran with it, and Isla was like, wait, what's happening here? You're telling my secrets to these people? And who are these people? I don't even know these people. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do.
So
my girls are the same.
Yeah, I think it's not uncommon.
Yeah.
No, especially when they're different personalities. Like your Georgia and Isla are like my Grace and Isabel.
I think
they
so.
really just are. And I thought about that one over the summer with Isla. I was like, she's, you know how that she's like Isabel, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like Isabel would take it to the death, and Grace was she was, gosh, she would say mean things to her when she was little and make her cry. And I hated, like, you didn't know how to discipline or deal with that. And I'm like, don't take her confidence. It's like the only thing I can't buy her.
Yeah.
Don't you take that confidence.
Yeah, right?
But my girls being forced together every summer of somewhere else in the world with nobody else most of the time. We joined gymnastics or did something where we could find local people and make friends, but they had each other and that was it.
Right.
So that was good.
Yeah.
So they've been close. But then when they stopped beating each other up and like the nails and cutting, I was like, by the time Grace was 13, she stopped beating Isabel. But then Isabel got really tough and really mad. So that just shut down. But they've been close since. And Isabel misses Grace.
I bet.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know what the positive effect for Isla, and I don't think it's affected Isla yet either because it's only been a week, is that Isla is a different kid on campus.
Yeah.
So like I was saying, if this summer had happened between junior and senior year for Georgia, I think it would have positively affected Isla on campus. But Isla kept her head down out from, Georgia was like social or spirit chair and editor of the newspaper and played 2 sports and this kind of larger than life figure in some ways. And Isla was not like that and had her own attributes, but didn't want anybody to see them because she didn't want to be compared or any expectation for what people knew Georgia to be. They're totally different students academically.
Yeah.
So I think Georgia leaving has allowed Isla to really like blossom. I've been so impressed with her this year. She joined the taiko team. So she's
good for
she's
her.
doing taiko. She's in the backstage crew for the play. And I was pushing, like shoving her into stuff last year. And this year she just came home and went, okay, I have taiko every Tuesday. And I'm like, what? You joined taiko? Yeah. And then Wednesday's play. And then I joined this club and I have to meet with that after school on this day. And she's just totally taken over her life.
Okay.
She was ready.
So I think she was ready. And I think her sister launching allowed her to launch, which was good.
That is good.
And then they're super close, which is really good too.
Yeah.
Power
of a phone call. I think that it's like such a simple thing, but with texting and stuff, people just don't pick up the phone as often. But I was working outside this weekend and the phone rang and it was my friend's son, Parker, who's in Atlanta or in Georgia. And I immediately thought, because I knew my friend was working, that something was wrong. Like,
he was looking for mom number 2.
Because I've always been the emergency person.
Yeah.
So I had it on my watch and I answered it now because I didn't have my phone with me. I was like, "Are you okay?" And he's like, "Yeah, I'm fine. I just wanted to talk." I was like, "Oh, hang on. Let me go get my phone. I'll call you right back." And then I ran inside and I was like, Parker called him. So immediately my husband was like, "Is everything okay?" And I was like, "He just wants to talk."
Oh, so adorable.
But it literally made me cry. I didn't cry on the phone with him, but I was like, "This is my friend's son."
Yeah.
Oh, that is sweet.
And he just like called to chat. And it was the sweetest, kindest thing. And I like the power of phone call is a powerful thing. I don't like if kids knew what it does for us.
Grace FaceTimes me. I asked her to FaceTime me. I'm like, I really just want to see you. I really like FaceTime. Yeah, I really love it. I'm just show me I'm going to look at your, I'm like, oh my God. I see pots in the background. I'm like, can you clean your kitchen? I won't say that again.
Do me a favor.
Yeah. I'm like, why did you put that chair over there?
Like you need some throws and some pillows.
I was like, dude.
Yeah. I'm like, send her that rug for me.
Once winter hits there, he's going to want those throws and pillows.
Yes, he will.
Yeah.
He will. That's for sure.
Totally.
I had that same reaction. Max Fromkin came to tell me goodbye before he left. And he walked in the door and he's like, "So I'm leaving tomorrow. I just want to come by and say goodbye." And I fell so profoundly apart that I started sobbing and hid from him. I went around the corner of my kitchen. I was like, "Max, I can't talk to you right now. I'm so sorry, Max. I'm fun at college." I was like, I couldn't get myself together. So I made Isla and George say goodbye to him and I couldn't do it. He was the first one leaving.
Yeah.
And I didn't expect it. And I didn't expect.
Well, and the fact that he cared enough to come say goodbye to you.
Come say goodbye to me.
To
oh my God, it killed me.
It's a big deal, yeah.
And of course, I've sent him like 3 care packages. And I'm like, "Here go, Max. Thank you so much." But you're right. It's amazing what that means.
These simple little things when they do it, like
Gosh, imagine what they're going
Yeah.
through to make that list. Like, I'm going to say bye to Mrs.
Oh, yeah.
Kreischer.
Yes.
Gosh.
It's very
It was
sweet.
pretty special.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, I don't know. I'm very glad Georgia is doing really well. I feel really lucky because I do have friends, and I know you probably had friends whose kids weren't doing well.
Little false starts.
Mm-hmm.
I had some friends, a few friends whose kids weren't happy freshman year, but they stuck it out and then did transfer for sophomore year. And I think that that's also like a really brave thing
Mm-hmm.
to not just be like, I made it through freshman year, I'll just go back, No, you're not happy. Like this should be actually a really good 4 or 5 years, whatever it takes. But you should be happy. And so that like saying, I'm going to call it, I'm not going back there. I'm going to try something else.
That's a very mature thing.
It was really mature. It was really brave. So my 2 friends' kids who did that, I was like, I kept commending them. Like,
Yeah,
wow, really brave decision. I'm really happy for you. Yeah.
totally. Nothing wrong with that.
And my goodness, like what are the odds that you actually go through this whole process and do choose the right school and are happy? I mean, thank God our kids are happy, but like, I'm sure there's a ton of kids who just stick it out and aren't really happy.
I know a lot of kids who have moved. I know a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Nothing wrong with it, right?
Yeah.
Now, what is your opinion? We were talking about this earlier. We'll keep it non-specific to people. But what is your opinion about a kid that's struggling and kind of going to get them? Because we have a couple people in my circle. I know 2 people actually, 2 people whose kids were in school a couple weeks or less, and the parents went and were like, "We're done."
So I would, there's no way. Depending on where they were, I would go there and get
That's
a
a good
hotel room
plan.
close by. And the unit, most of the colleges have amazing support systems. They're anticipating stuff like this happening.
Mm-hmm.
So I would find out what the support systems are. I wouldn't leave if my child wasn't okay,
Mm-hmm.
but I would definitely be pushing and encouraging them to stick it out because that's going to happen, that's really common in the first 2 to 6 weeks that you regret it and don't want to go. But if you can get over that hump, it gets better.
Mm-hmm.
So I know that there's every college has these amazing mental health resources, and depression is real and in those first few weeks. And so you just got to get through, hopefully get through that period, unless it's so severe. And then, I guess you have to.
Well, I guess you would
make that
want the
decision.
college to advise you, right?
Yeah.
If the kid went and got the counseling you're talking about, and the college counselor went, "Yeah, this isn't working, this isn't right," then
Yeah,
of course, you would listen.
Mhm.
But my orientation said, "Listen, first 4 weeks are just dicey.
Mhm.
Your kid may be fine until the 4th week, and your kid may be terrible all the way till the 4th week." So every kid processes this differently. You have to be patient, and you have to keep encouraging them to join a club, reach out to resources.
There's so many things
be
in play. They
social.
could have a terrible roommate. They could
Yep.
their classes.
That's a big deal.
I have a friend whose son and all of his classes ended up at nighttime, and that kind of stinks. I have a friend whose daughter is at Berkeley and they didn't have housing for everybody. And so she's in like a common room and they have no closets or
bummer.
anything. And so there's a lot of things in play, but it's 4 years.
Yeah.
And so there's it's not going to be all great. And it's a bummer if it starts not great,
Yeah.
but hopefully you can find your things. There's so many. I mean, the universities are so prepared
Mhm.
for that to happen.
Yeah. I
You
think
just
so.
have to really seek out those resources.
Yeah. What do you think, Margaret? What would happen?
Margaret's like, "Rrrr."
I'll be there in 10.
You know what? I think first of all, Grace left me. I mean, she could have gone there a week early. She was like, George just wanted to go. So I didn't ever have she would never was like, Mom, she never even said I miss you. Like she was like, this is the best place in the world. And we get to watch the fireworks at Disney or whatever it is. SeaWorld.
Yeah.
No, she never, ever was like, I'm sad. And I want you we had to say, can we come for parents? We can please let us come for parents. We
How funny.
she just didn't want us to come.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh my gosh. But but if it were Isabel, I would go get her.
Yeah.
And I think, I saying all this without having had my child go through it, it's hard, but
Yeah.
that's my feeling is that my instinct would be to definitely go there
Yeah.
and survey the situation,
Right.
and stay, close by, but to really encourage strongly that they stick it out.
Right. I think assessing the situation is a good plan.
That is,
Yeah. To go there and go, what's really going on here?
Right.
And figure it out from there.
Mhm.
Because it would be hard to have your kid calling every day and
Miserable
and upset. And
Well, you also worry about like if it is depression and like how low they go and
totally.
and how lonely they get.
Mhm.
I have a friend whose son was in Iowa, Illinois, I don't know, during COVID, and he was supposed to have 3 roommates. He was the only one.
Oh.
He didn't meet anybody. He spent a whole year in a room in the middle of in a field in Iowa, I think. I don't know. But he was so miserable. He was so miserable. He came home the next day and he was there. He was thrilled to go to the school. They had the creative writing program he wanted. And he was like, I don't want to stay another year. I'm coming home. I'm coming home now. And he finished his year, came home to Santa Monica, and now he's now he's off at another school. But he talked about the loneliness and, especially during COVID, because they were just so by themselves, but no family, no friends, not even the familiar grocery store. He's like, it's, it can be really
Isolating.
Shocking. Yeah. Isolating and shocking. So if that happened to Isabel,
You'd be going to get her.
I'd go get her. Oh my gosh. But I don't know. I'd go stay as long as I could, but I wouldn't be, and if she called me and said she wanted to come home, that would mean she really does.
Is really bad.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, to your point, I think college is supposed to be fun. It is supposed to be obviously about learning and working hard and learning all these adult skills, but it also should be fun. It should not be miserable or drudgery or, isolation and loneliness. The COVID thing is a little bit of a special circumstance, but I know one of my friends' kid's roommate is local.
So it goes home every weekend.
Goes home every day. So is not really living in the dorm. And her complaint is for her son that they're like George's dorm room just stays open. It just stays open all the time. But he's living in like a brand new dorm with the fire code stuff where it has to have the automatic closing door. So he can't even like prop his door open so that you can like see people walking by in the hallway and go, hey, because I remember my dorm room, everybody's doors open on the hall floor. It was like, social time. And if you needed to study or something, you closed your door. Other than that, everybody's doors were open. If you were in your door was just open all the time. So it made a very free-flowing community. You could just walk in and out of each other's rooms. And George's dorm seems to be the same way. Like when we were there for the very short period of time that we were allowed to stay there because Georgia was like, get out.
Yeah.
All the doors were open and they were just wandering from person to person.
Okay, so the funniest story to tell you about that. So for my friend Jen's 50th birthday a few years ago, we went to the Ballard Inn in, Santa Ynez wine country area. And basically we had the entire second floor of this little tiny hotel. And we all left our doors open, until we went to sleep. But it was so fun because we were running from room to room and everyone had brought different wine and beer and drink mixers and snacks. And we'd be like, oh, I want to go see, gotta go see what's in Mel's room. Oh, gotta go see what's in Jared's room. And we were running from room to room. And my room had it, each room was really unique too, because it was kind of a bed and breakfast. So we had a sink right by our door, which felt very dormish. And I was brushing my teeth and my friend Stuart walks by and he's like, hey, and I'm like, hey, I'm in college again. I was so excited.
You went to college with all your best friends.
It was so much fun.
That's awesome.
So maybe that's something that we do.
Yeah, totally.
Now that I'm thinking about it,
It's an empty nest party.
I want to go do that again and just get the whole second floor and everyone leave the doors open. It was so much. I never wanted to leave. They were like, we're going to go into town. I was like, no, let's stay here. This is so fun.
That's awesome. That's really cool.
Idea. It was a really fun weekend.
That's really cool.
But I loved it. And it totally brought me back to that time and how social it is and how you're meeting the most unique people from all over the place. My gosh, just think about that dorm floor and everyone's from all over the world even now. And just hearing everyone's story and getting to meet these people and then being in a room with 10 people and someone talking and you being like, yeah, that's my person.
Yeah.
We're going to in your mind.
Yeah.
We're going to be close. I know it. You and I are the same. And I just loved all those new connections. I'm so excited for them, for all of that.
All the friendships, all the experiences.
It doesn't happen like this again.
No.
Nothing like this ever happens
And hopefully
again.
they're also making friends for life.
Yes. Yeah.
Because quite honestly, the high school friends are nice and all, but as we've talked about, there is a lot of
you grow out of them.
bad, the the talking, the nastiness, especially with girls in high school, that can be so ugly and yucky. And I feel like once you get to college, everyone's kind of looking for that fresh.
Yeah.
I think so.
The maturity goes. It's good to see girls
reinventing themselves a bit, you know?
Yeah. Behaving.
Yeah.
nicely.
It is. It really
Yeah,
is.
it is.
They feel like they got to step up their game.
Mm-hmm.
This is their chance.
Yep.
Fresh start. Like, do better.
And they're on campus with upperclassmen. So you have people around you that are 20 and they're not behaving like they're not, well, actually some of them are.
Some of them are.
I saw some crazy things.
Some of them never grow out of it, let's be honest.
Yeah.
Some of them are the same even now in our 50s, right? Some of it's still that way where you're like, really?
Yeah.
We're not in high school. Come on.
Oh my God. I tell my kids, I'm like, these are the best years of your life. College, you're going to make memories that'll last you for the rest of your lives and friends, and just have fun. Just have a whole lot of fun.
Yeah.
And then if you really want, go back and specialize later.
Totally.
I think my oldest daughter might think about law now. It's kind of funny. Never
She'd
talked
be
about
an
it before.
excellent lawyer.
Right? I would not go up against that.
Me neither.
Mm-hmm. I guess you're doing criminal defense.
Yeah.
Somehow I think
It's kind of fun
very
though, letting them just figure it all out.
Mm-hmm. It is. Who are you? Remember when you were
are.
pregnant and you were like, I just can't wait to see you. I don't know what you're going to look like.
Yeah.
And you remember getting those emails that you got like once a week, like your baby's grown toenails. Your lashes are coming. I would sit there at my desk and I would just imagine anything like she was supposed to. Like I had this idea.
Yeah.
Shit, like anything like that. And then you're like, now I can't wait to see when you grow hair and walk.
Yeah, right?
I mean, so the craziest thing when you just said the best years of your life at the kids, but I would actually have to say, to me, and maybe my best years are yet to come, but I felt like my best years, happiest years were when they were really little.
Me too.
And you're in that
too.
schedule.
Yeah.
Me too.
You're like, this is, know what it's going to be. Like we're feeding at 11 and then
you're all in.
they're going to
24/7.
sleep until 6. And then, tomorrow is his turn to wake up and I'm going to sleep in and we're going to watch this at night. Even though it was so hard, it was so simple.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It was
We
so
planned the heck
simple
out of their lives.
just because you knew this was my schedule and I loved it. I absolutely loved it. And I really miss it. But those were lovely years. But who knows? Maybe we still get to have
maybe we could be grandmas.
best years. I know,
We
grandmas
will. We can
and
be great
travel and do other
grandmas.
things. So, but college was definitely not my best years. I feel like my best years were when my kids were babies and toddlers.
Those
My
are my
best
favorite
years were when
years.
my kids were in elementary school.
Yeah.
Those
When
were fun years.
We had our neighborhood
It was crazy.
is the best neighborhood on the planet. I'm sure yours is great. It's not. It's just really amazing.
I mean, the Halloween decorations are all going up right now.
I
And
know.
and I don't have trick or treaters anymore. I mean, my kids aren't. My daughter's
Yeah,
not
this
going.
is- this is our
I
old
did love
house.
that neighbor. You did love it. I remember
Let
when you
me
first
tell
found that
you,
school.
We had
that
so much fun.
neighborhood
I remember that.
Was is still.
I mean, we
so
were riding
special.
our
We
bikes
embraced y'all.
around. You guys had a party at the Hay Slips, that pig roast,
Yep.
and we all rode our bikes there.
Yep.
And drank way too much.
And then
And
rode bikes home.
Got to get on our bikes home, and I was like, "Oh my god, I haven't ridden my bike drunk since college."
Yep.
And it was a very interesting ride home. But there was 10 of us, all bike gang,
Yep.
riding our bikes home from your party. I mean, it was so much fun,
It was so
ridiculous
fun.
fun.
And the kids had so much fun.
Yeah.
And they all
That
loved
was my
each other and they
favorite.
played well together.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
It was really
They did, and all
fun.
the adults played well together. We all
Yeah.
kind of podded up, sort of, and some pods would
Nice,
intermingle with
yeah.
other pods.
I was an intermingler.
and you were what?
I was an intermingler of
You were
pods.
an intermingler, yes.
A
you were.
floater.
I was not a floater, but
No.
I was sort of social with everybody.
Yeah.
But I had a pod, and but yeah, I think that was my favorite time
Me
of my
too.
life.
Me too. That
Loved
was.
it.
That's
It
why
was
we
my
missed it. That's why
favorite.
we're up here crying.
I
I know, but that's what we're mourning the
That's
loss
what it
of.
is.
It's the truth.
Yeah,
Because
we
they
are-
turned
yeah.
out great. We should be patting. I actually, here's what's crazy, is I didn't actually want children.
Oh, I didn't either.
Okay. Because
Didn't
Matt
either.
negotiated. I got a dog, Abby.
Yeah.
And Matt was like, serious. I'm like, okay, let's think about this. I started prenatal vitamins and I was pregnant within 2 weeks. I couldn't believe it. And then it became like a job, I'm like, okay, I have to eat this way. And then when the baby came, you learned all this stuff about infants.
Yep.
And then when they started having to eat food, I had to learn how to cook.
Yep.
So I loved all these little challenges and
Yeah.
everything that I learned and how well I did it.
Yeah.
And I used to think my kids are going to, I'm going to give them a great education. They're going to be healthy and happy. And then when they go off to college, I'm going to pat myself on the back. I'm going to be like, great job, Mom. You know what I mean? I really
Yeah.
expected. And that's like, seriously, up until a few weeks or months before Grace left, that's what I thought I was going to do.
Yeah.
I had no idea. I was like, I just miss her.
Yeah.
And too, it didn't help that somebody published that by the time our kids go to college, we've spent 95% of our time with them. Did you read that?
No.
Did you read that? Maybe I just made it up. Maybe it was in one of my horrible dreams. It sounds right.
It sounds about right.
Right? 95% of their time. I'm like, I've only got 5% of my time left with her for the rest of her. So now she just makes a mess. She's a slob. My deal is put her stuff in the dishwasher. Like, she doesn't even do that anymore. I don't even care.
Yeah.
Don't even care.
No, I don't
Come on
even
over
care.
and make a mess.
Come on over. Just be home for a while. Stay a while longer.
Yeah.
Miss your mess.
Yeah, I didn't think I'd have kids either. I never thought I'd get married or have kids. I was like, it's not for me. I don't know how to do that. I don't have a good example of that.
Yeah.
I'm just not going to do that. We'll just see where life takes us, but I'm not going to do it. And once I figured out I was going to do it, I was like, I need some therapy because I don't have any modeling for this at all. So if I'm going to make this work, I better get some help.
Yeah. And job splitting. We didn't have anybody to split the jobs with.
No.
We were everything.
Yes, that's right.
Mm-hmm.
It was really that's why those young years where you talk about the schedule, they were so relentless because I was alone and I didn't have a nanny.
Mm-hmm.
And unless I was physically at my office, I didn't have a nanny. So those years for me were wonderful. Don't get me wrong. I loved them, but I was freaking exhausted every day. Like every day I was like, TikTok 7:00.
Yeah.
Mama needs to sit down. I'm so tired. But once we got to elementary school and they were up and running and I had this community where I was like, Jeannie, I can't get Isla today.
Yeah.
Can you get Isla?
Yeah.
It was just that
Carpool.
little tiny bit.
And getting them to games. When one Booch had to be at
Totally.
a game or
Just that little bit of support.
Yeah.
Made
There was some
all
walk
the difference
days.
in the world.
Now I think about it, we did some walking to school days too.
Yes,
That was
yes,
fun.
we did. Our
Yeah.
girls were in Girl Scouts together.
Yeah.
Yes, and we did all this volunteerism together. So our
it
kids
is like
were
y'all
always,
raised them in a village.
Well,
We
it is.
did. Our village.
Valley
I
Village.
always refer
Valley
to it
Village.
as
right?
our
Yeah.
village.
Yeah.
And one of my neighbors, the dad passed away and the son is at school at LSU now. And I always am texting him and going, your village is still here for you. Your village misses you because it is his village.
Yeah.
Even though he doesn't live there anymore, it's still your village.
Yeah. Everybody there cares about each other. It's really cool.
Yeah, it is very nice.
It's really cool.
But you know what? Now that I think about it, we were saying that how crazy, and I remember how crazy you were. I'm like how much you did between the farm and the Girl Scouts and all the volunteering. It really kind of for what everything you do now. That's not with the kids. It's actually with managing Burt World. Is like that prepared you totally.
I guess. I think you're probably right. I juggled a lot of hats.
You
at
were
that
constantly
elementary school,
juggling everything.
and I juggled a lot of hats in this business. And our business was not what it is now. It was. I didn't have very many hats then.
Well,
And
you
for
had,
Bert,
yeah, I was to say, there's no way you could have done what you were doing with the girls. And yeah.
I can barely get one Girl Scout meeting every other week done now. Just barely. But yeah, I guess you're right. I guess it was preparing me for this because I definitely wear a ton of hats in this Burt Inc.
And deal with a lot of different personalities, just like you were.
Tell me about it. But it was really great that time. It was really fun.
I'm so glad we had it. I'm so glad we had it and have all those memories. But yeah, it just makes like the loss of it so much harder.
I think you're right. It makes the loss a lot harder.
Mm-hmm.
And we think about what we have been talking about, what's the next phase look like? How do you recreate that? So have you guys seen this documentary called Some Kind of Heaven, I think it's called? It is about a retirement community in Florida called The Villages.
I know about the villages.
You do?
I do. They're famous.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
They're all driving around in their golf carts and everything. Yeah.
The signs off the 995 or I-70, whichever one. Like,
Yep.
when you go down to Florida, there's
Yep.
signs for the village.
My girlfriends and I have talked about moving into a tiny home village where we all have like a row of our own
we talk
tiny
about
homes.
that all the time too.
But like it wouldn't be our full-time home, but when we wanted just the girls to be together, we would go to our tiny home village.
I love that.
I know.
Where is this village?
Well, we'd have to buy like land somewhere like I mean, I'd like wilderness there. I'm sure
Malibu.
Yeah, I know.
Topanga.
But that would be so crazy
Right.
expensive. Maybe Topanga, but like, yeah. And then the tiny homes, like you can just buy them pre-done and we all get our own. Mine would be yellow.
Of course.
Of course. So we'd have our tiny homes in a row.
Well, you know that Bert and I tried to do that. We tried to buy a big piece of land in Ojai and put a bunch of tiny homes on it.
Oh,
And
I love Ojai.
Ojai doesn't allow it.
Oh.
They will only allow.
They have covenants in the whole city of Ojai.
You can have a main house, a guest house, and a stable.
Oh.
And
See, I would
that's
love
it.
like Santa Ynez right by Los Olivos.
I like Santa Ynez,
Ooh,
too.
I like Santa Ynez too. Oh.
Okay, well, we wrote it. We're all in. Let's
Tiny
Santa
Ynez.
Ynez.
So that's
There's
like
good wineries
something
up
I think
there.
about that. Yeah.
Okay, that's my next investment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like
A
tiny home
winery?
village.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
That'd be
I'll
amazing.
buy a tiny home on your property.
Okay. Well, I don't think I'm not kidding. I'll look into that
Okay, good.
for real because
Then
that's
we'll-
close enough. You could drive to it
Totally.
like that.
Like
Be there
that.
on a Friday,
Yeah.
come back on a
Wine
Sunday.
tasting. There's so much to do there. Oh my God. The bike riding up there is amazing.
Okay, I'll look into that.
Yeah.
And good food, all the local restaurants.
So you get that Santa Maria barbecue
Yes,
up
I love it up
there.
there.
There's some good. There's one of the best restaurants I've ever been to is actually next to a used car lot on the main road. It's not pea soups, but it's like
Yeah.
it's so amazingly. I had prime rib there. We still talk about it. We
Okay.
all still.
So
talk
when you
about
go
it.
research, there's
Yeah.
this place up there called Flying Flags. Have you heard
Uh-huh.
of Flying
No.
Flags? Okay. So I've stayed there, which is kind of what inspired me. There's a place called Flying Flags, and they call it like an RV park, but it's not what it is. It's tiny homes. So you can rent a wine cottage. Those are the nicest ones, and it's these little white tiny homes that have a loft and a bedroom and like a fire pit out front. Or then there's surf cottages. Those are smaller. Or you can rent a safari tent that literally has heat and air and is like beautiful. Or a restored Airstream trailer.
Amazing.
And so you
Wow.
just rent your thing for the weekend. You're like spitting distance to Los Olivos, go wine tasting during the day, come back. There's tons of bike riding. And then at this park, they do like movies at nighttime on a wall. It's so much fun. So we went with the kids were in middle school. So this was a long time ago, but we went with a ton of other families and we all rented tiny homes
That
and
sounds
had
fun.
the best time and literally left the kids at the RV park while we went wine tasting. Like we didn't even bring them with us.
That's
Wow.
awesome.
'Cause they
Flying
would
flags.
just weight us down.
You
yeah.
I'm gonna look into it. They just weight us down. Dead weight. You're
Oh.
dead weight.
Ojai has that wine festival every year. You should think about going to that, and
Yeah.
you can camp. Did you know you can camp at Lake Casitas?
Yes.
During the
Yes.
wine festival, and
I didn't know that. I didn't know about this wine festival, but
It's every year, and you camp at Lake Casitas, and it's in June or July.
Mhm.
It's
See, look at all these plans we're making.
I know, right?
See, this is that. Okay, this is we're turning it around for you. No wonder why you're all happy, and
I know.
I needed this because I was going to cry. But now I'm really happy to have the time to go like this.
Yeah.
Like I'm going to go to. Where am I going to go? Wait, I was just New Orleans with Felicia in May.
Oh, good.
She's doing a wedding, and I'm going to go with. I'm like, I can go. I
Yeah,
just need
totally.
dog sitters. That's it. But that's so much easier than, kids and stuff.
Yeah. Find a good dog sitter.
Oh, although
They're great.
the dogs, yeah.
Mm.
I'm dealing with a health thing with one of my dogs.
Oh,
It's
really?
costing more than my son's college tuition.
How old is your dog?
7.
Oh, that's young.
I know. That's why we're paying all this money to save him.
Oh.
Mm.
Y'all know that when I was here last
Then they
year,
become the children, I guess, right?
Yeah.
right? They
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
My dog died right after
Oh, yeah.
Grace's dog died. That's the way she
Oh.
did come home. She came home. It was perfect. Somebody was in San Diego, and it was October 11th. And
Mm.
I know we knew when she left. She said goodbye to him. We knew when she left. So anyhow, luckily an LA friend was in town and drove her home. And then we put her on and she stayed with them for about 4 hours, put him in their bed. She took a nap, and he died with her.
Oh.
And then we had to put her on a train back to San Diego.
Oh. But he died with her.
Well, they don't die real quick. Don't mean to laugh about that.
No, I've
But,
had one die in my house too.
His lips
yeah.
curled back and his tongue fell. But there was still like a heart. I'm like, just go, Grace.
Yeah.
And
Because they also
did.
release.
Yeah, because it's not good.
No.
Yeah.
Because we had Bailey go in our living room.
Yeah. Yeah. Priscilla.
I had to
and
get a
living
new
room.
rug.
Yeah. Well, we prepared.
I was not prepared.
We prepared. I knew enough. I'd been around
Mhm.
enough growing up that when Priscilla was going, I was like, okay, we need some PP pads everywhere. So we were covered, but
Mhm.
yeah, people don't know that. They do.
Mhm.
It does kind of let go.
Mhm.
It's so hard. It's so sad.
So hard.
I know. Well,
And we hold on so tight.
we do because it's just love.
Yeah.
It's just the purest. Not that
It
your
is.
children aren't loved,
Yeah.
but really
Yeah,
animals
really
are like
does,
the
yeah.
purest, most
unconditional-
uncomplicated.
And they know.
And
Like
they're
they
so
totally
relying
know.
on us too. Like
Yeah.
they're relying on you.
Yeah,
really.
totally.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, when we went to orientation for Georgia, the lady at orientation said, warning, your kid's going to come home from Thanksgiving and be obsessed with the family dog.
And not you.
Aw.
and not you.
Oh, did she say that?
Yes, she said,
Aw.
this is normal. And please don't get your feelings hurt because they just don't understand how much they're going to miss the family dog. They can
Mhm.
talk to you on the phone. They can see the dog on FaceTime, but it is not the same.
You
So
can't connect.
you need to like just prepare yourself that you're not going to be the focus. It's going to be the dog or the cat or the parrot or whatever you have. So I told Georgia that after orientation, and she was like, I think that's probably accurate. And all she said, the biggest thing she's going to miss is the dogs. And this is about the dogs. And then all of a sudden, we're in the hotel getting ready to move her, and Georgia is crying. And I said, what's the matter? And she said, I just realized that Mona and possibly even Gus are going to die while I'm in college.
Yeah, I didn't want to
Yeah.
say that. I was thinking Mona. I was like, oh no.
Mona? You mean on your last leg, Mona? the
that
old rat
girl?
dog?
That girl is gonna keep on. I know, but she just keeps on going,
How old
and
is
she
she
looks
now?
good. She
Trucking.
cleans up nice.
We think she's 16, but we've had her for 14 years, and they thought she was about 2. She's blind in one eye, deaf. She's almost, she either has a thick cataract. She doesn't see well in the one good eye. And she's very anxious, and she barks a lot. If she can't find me, she barks a lot. And she just blew out her ACL.
Oh,
and the
no.
vet's like, at 16, sorry.
Wait,
That's
that
gonna
was
make-
Mona
what do
who
you
blew out the
do?
ACL.
Oh no, Mac also did.
I was gonna
In
say
the same week.
What?
In the same week.
What was Mona
insurance.
chasing?
Yes, I have dog
I-
insurance
I've
on
got-
every dog.
Wait,
Yes.
Wait, what was Mona chasing?
Mona decided, has not done this in years, to jump off the bed.
Oh,
She hasn't jumped off the bed in probably 3 or 4 years. And she jumped off the bed, didn't even yelp, didn't even limp, and then was walking fine. And I was like, okay, that was amazing because, she's like 12 pounds. She's not a very big dog. And then the next morning when she woke up, she wasn't putting any weight on the leg at all. And when I took her to the vet said, did she jump off something? And I went, yeah, she jumped off the bed yesterday, but she was walking fine yesterday. And he went, oh no, that's what did it.
Oh, the
Blew out her
swelling.
ACL.
oh my gosh.
So yeah, so she's got like no ACL and one eye and no ears. She's just getting it done. She's got 4 or 5 teeth missing in the front.
if she could talk,
Who's her?
I can
George's
only
favorite?
imagine.
Izzy.
Is he? Oh,
I can
no.
only imagine if she could talk.
Yeah, I think Izzy and Gus have a tie for Georgia's favorite, but lately it's been Izzy. Izzy is the sweetest dog that has ever lived. I'm sorry. I love Priscilla as great as she was. Izzy
Priscilla.
is like the poster family dog. She's so
Aw.
lovely. She's just such a lovely dog. So yeah, I think she's gonna have a hard time with Izzy. But she's right. We may be too lighter by the time she gets home in
No,
the
you
summer.
might. It's,
Yeah.
but I mean, I was grateful at least that I think that Pierre Bozier made it.
Yeah,
because he was her. We got her. We got that
I
dog.
remember when you got him.
Yeah,
Her.
I was Lori Laughlin my way into elementary school. You had to go to the ball, and because it was siblings. Geez, if you don't have a sibling and you can't get in, there was like 78 people for 2 spots. So I went to the ball the year before, and I bet on the dog. And my neighbor, who I liked a lot until that point, was the PTA president, Jane. And she knew what I was doing because she knew I was desperate. It's behind my house. The school is behind my house. I hear morning announcements. I needed to get my kids into the school. So I went there and she outbid me all night.
Uh-uh.
I was like, Matt, we're going to go get a dog. It's going to be a buffer dog. It's perfect. I need another dog. And it will get into the school. It'll be $700. And that was a lot of money back then.
Yeah.
And I had to talk him into it. And he's like, and we have to go to this ball and we have to buy seats at the table. We're not even going to the school yet. That's how crazy I am.
Oh my
And
God.
I got the dog, which was not a chocolate lab, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
It was a Shetland sheepdog. And I took it to the principal and I said, remember me? And then the next year we got in.
Nice. It
Yeah.
worked.
But it was our kindergarten. We got him in our kindergarten and he lived until she went off to college.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's a long time.
He saw her through.
He did. He saw her through and he
Yeah.
was her. Like maybe she doesn't miss the other 2 now.
Yeah.
I mean, not the puppy. But I know she misses. Like I'll get videos you just get random pictures or videos. I got videos of him. And so I send them to her. And she said a text to me the other day when I sent it to her. And she said, I miss saying his name.
Oh,
Because when they die, you don't say their names anymore.
Yeah.
yeah. I say Priscilla a lot.
I said Bailey was her.
I remember Bailey.
Yes. That I love though that what she said that the woman, your orientation lady said that. And I love that they do that for us though,
Prepare you.
because you've heard like all these things, but then to have someone from the university stand in front of you being like, you're going to get a call in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Or in 4 weeks, you're going to get this.
Yep.
And this is what you need to do when you get that. And they're just so like matter of fact. And this is what's going to happen, that even if it didn't happen to me, when I heard about it happening to someone else, I'm like, oh, yeah.
Yeah. I heard
She
about
said that that's going to happen.
Yeah, right. It was very helpful.
Right on course.
You know, Georgia's orientation I thought was really interesting. They had parents and kids went at the same time. And from my understanding, and I may have totally misunderstood, but for the kids, it was entirely social. Like they just wanted them to meet other kids who were coming in as freshmen. Pretty much. They did social activities and then like talks a little bit about alcohol and drugs and like date rape and that kind of stuff, sexual assault but they didn't. It wasn't an informational orientation.
None of my orientation was anything informational. It was like, here's the campus. Look how beautiful this building is.
Oh, no.
Look how
Or they
fantastic.
sat us down in the room and they read the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Mine was like a seminar. It was 2 days. One day was almost 12 hours long.
Oh my
And the
gosh.
other day was 8 hours long. And it was entirely informational. I took like 3 full front to back notebook, like college ruled notebook of notes. And then I would meet Georgia for lunch and I'd go, so this is what we talked about today. What did you talk about today? And she'd, we did a scavenger hunt or whatever. What'd you talk about? And I'd go, ba-ba-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And she'd go, oh my God, I don't know any of this. And I was like, I wonder why they don't give them this information the same way.
No, they give, Grace got that.
Oh,
And
she did.
There are A's and stuff, but the parents, we didn't get anything like that.
Oh my God,
Nothing.
we got
but
so
nothing to that
much.
detail with that kind of great kind of advice. No, shouldn't tell me about anything like that.
Oh, they were
here's
awesome.
health services. Here, it was.
Well, we got that. I got that too. Here's health services. Here's where they go if they get sick. Here's how you deal with food. Here's where all the food is around here. If there's a complaint, this is what you need to do. But they basically want the kids to handle all that stuff.
Mhm.
This was really about what to expect
I wish I'd had
in
that.
their first year. And like one of the best pieces of advice they gave her, I think, was they were like, most kids are not used to a quarterly system. It's 10 weeks. It's fast and furious. By the time you're at midterms, you're almost over.
Mhm.
So there's very little time to make up any mistakes. So what works best is to get a day planner that has like a month at a glance and then a week at a glance, and to look at 2 weeks at a time. Don't start Sunday and look at this week. Look at Sunday and look at this week and next week. So that when you get to the next Sunday, you're looking 2 weeks ahead and then you never get behind.
It's really good advice.
And it was really good advice. They didn't give Georgia that advice. They gave us that advice to tell our kids. And I was like, why aren't you telling the kids this?
Yeah.
Because I told Georgia and she was like, oh, that sounds like a really good idea. I think maybe I should get a day planner.
Yeah. Well, I think my kids would rather hear it from somebody than me. I've got all
Me
these great
too.
ideas. They don't.
You need pillows and a throw. Why is that chair there? And you need a day planner. Get a day planner, right?
I said Grace of gloves, and they showed up on Amazon.
Yeah.
Because I love.
Wait, what did you send her?
Of gloves.
Oh, yeah.
For her new apartment, they're cooking. She doesn't have a meal plan on campus, and I sent her of gloves and just through Amazon. Think about it, and she's like, "What the heck are these?" I'm like, "For you, for the oven, for you taking things out of the oven." I go there. She doesn't even open them. they're in just the whole closet. Like everything I sent her is just. I'm like, this is good stuff. You should use it.
Yeah, right.
I mean it. I know what I'm talking about. I burned myself enough.
Do you ever go, I'm 52 years old. I know what I'm talking
Exactly.
about. Do you do that?
I do that a lot.
I do too.
Actually, I don't.
I
Say
just say
I'm 52 years old. I don't
sometimes-
tell people that often.
I say sometimes I know things. Sometimes I know things. Yeah.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Trust me.
Every once in a while I know something.
No,
Now they're at the point they know more. The Graces, at least, she's just beyond me now.
Yeah.
I mean, they know everything in the world.
Oh, totally. Georgia does too. I was getting there. But when I get really angry sometimes and I go, do you think I have lived on this planet 52 years and you know more than I do? There's no way.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, there's some things that I don't know nothing about Snapchat. So you got me
Yeah.
there.
I still
Totally.
never
But
understood
I
that.
don't get it.
Are they
I
still
don't get
doing
it.
it though? Because I feel like
Yes.
if I waited long enough, I'd miss the boat and I wouldn't have to.
Same. I felt the same.
So and by the way, my sister who's older than me has 3 children. 2 are still in college. One's graduated. They have like a family Snap group chat, and that's what they all chat on.
What?
I
I
know.
still don't understand it because I just understood TikTok this summer or last summer.
Uh-huh.
Like Isabel really, but I still don't understand.
I
Yeah.
am stuck at Instagram.
We sound so
I
dumb right
plateaued
now, by
at
the way.
Instagram.
Yeah.
I went Instagram and done.
Dude, I
Yeah,
never did
can't
be
go
on
back.
Facebook.
right?
Yeah, I
I
have
still
an
look at
Instagram account so
Facebook
I can
as well.
follow my kids.
Yeah.
But even they don't post that. That's not, it's
Mm-mm.
Snapchat.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've gotten to this point. There's nothing I need to know.
But is Snap, isn't that the one where it disappears?
Yes.
Or you can save it doesn't have to.
Oh, it doesn't have to.
So my sister, like, they're literally all her communication with her kids and stuff is all on Snap.
I think it's so dicey that it disappears, though, because then
Yeah.
people can do egregious behavior.
They
and
do.
it just
Oh,
goes
They
away.
do.
Totally. And
I
they
don't
do.
like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't like that. What do you think Elijah's biggest challenge was the first year?
So their room, this is interesting and it affected him. Their room was an interior room in a really beautiful dorm, but they were interior and exterior rooms. The way it was built, it was an old building. And so they made a well. They called it the light well in the center of the building. So even if you were in an interior room, you had a window that was outside and that light came in, but really not a lot of light
Yeah.
because he wasn't on a high floor. And so their room was dark most of the time. And it was hot. The thermostat wasn't great. So he had to deal with dark and hot. And when he came home, and it's like stupid things like the twin bed, like he'd always had a full or queen bed in his room. So when his first night home, he like wakes up in the morning, he's like, so happy. And he's like, it's so nice to have sunlight in my room and to be able to turn over in my bed and not worry about falling off. It's like the simple things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He missed sunlight in his room. It made him not want to be in his room a lot.
Right.
But you're in your room all the time. Now, at least he's in a much better situation where they have like a living room and a kitchen and then 3 bedrooms that have 2 kids in each bedroom. And he seems just so much happier.
Good.
But he has light.
Yeah.
So that was a big challenge.
Yeah.
I mean, I can tell you growing up in Cleveland, like the gray 6 months a year, I don't know that I realized it growing up, but it deeply affected me. And I always wanted to live out here. And I realized like after being here for like 6 months, I mean, I moved here in 1995, but like, it was like I was such a happier person. It completely altered me because I think I was really like the gray just did me in.
Right.
And his dark room, I think really affected him.
What about Grace?
She had no complaints.
Nothing,
her dog
nothing
died.
was
Her
hard?
dog died her
Yeah.
first month. Drama with like buoys. I mean, like she does not talk to me about boyfriends very, very much. Like I knew her high school boyfriends, but college, I don't really know what's going on. But no, she's loving it. She's with her best friends. She's all of her best friends.
Yeah.
And, I mean, she went to college with I think like 37 people she knew.
Oh my God.
That's a lot.
A lot of kids from LA go there.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah, it's like she took half of her senior class. I mean, it's kind of funny. So she has no complaint. She loved her apartment. She had an apartment like 2 bedrooms with a kitchen and a living room, and the doors were always open in their hall. It was a great hall, and she loves it. She's kind of particular about cleanliness, and she really wanted to move off campus so that she could be in control of her roommates. And to clean it. So, and she saved money a little bit. I mean, she seems to think like the $1,200 lunch, whatever the food fee is, making it up all the difference of all of her, Postmates, all the Postmating. I'm like, you're supposed to be cooking. You have a kitchen with like a cast iron skillet. But no, her first year, she loved it.
That's
You
good.
gave me hope, I have to tell you, because a year ago we talked about this, that Grace would like you'd spend like an hour in her room after she left every morning because it was such a mess. And that is definitely like, I mean, a drawer doesn't get closed. The toilet doesn't get flushed. Socks just get taken off and, like there's no thought process to put it into a hamper. Tags just torn off things on the floor. So I've always been like, she's never like, how is she ever going to leave and be on her own? And then you're talking about how like she's the person who cleans the apartment and wants it like kept a certain way, and telling me that like she immediately was at that. I was like, okay, there's hope. Like I feel like this is okay. And honestly, also like I was frustrated that I was doing it for her all the time and that I shouldn't be. But she has so much on her plate, and
that's why I did it.
So that I feel like it's okay that I do this.
Yeah,
I'm taking something.
And
off.
too, I always thought too with Grace. She did have one chore to unload the dishwasher. Like one job. But everybody in my house had one job. Isabel folded towels, Matt took out the trash, and Grace unloaded the dishwasher. And that was it. And I did the room and everything for because the school, the commute, the after. I just thought if I hoped that if I kept it clean, she would also do the same. But the big experiment is when Isabel goes to college.
Yeah.
Isabel's like her father.
Yeah.
I mean, Isabel she's a mess. Well, Grace has always been something of a mess, but a lot neater.
Mhm.
So seeing her be ridiculous about the dishes and being like, no one's putting up their dishes. I'm going to do all the dishes today. And I'm like, you go. Who are you? Well, I hope.
See, there's hope. There's hope.
I hope that Isabel turns out the same way. I really hope that I've given her. I really do hope that we'll see.
I know what you mean. I have two different slobs. I have me as a high schooler, which is Georgia, and then I have Bert.
Mm-hmm.
I was just like Bert, where I go,
Oh,
how
really?
do you live like that? Like I lived like Georgia, where shit was just everywhere. My dad used to say he was afraid to walk in my room. He thought he'd get snake bit. So it's just shit everywhere on the floor. But I knew where everything was. So it was organized chaos.
Yeah.
I was just lazy or too busy. You know, I was always an extracurricular after school too. So it didn't mean enough to me to clean my room. I also had to clean the rest of the house. Like, because I live with my dad by ourselves. He worked all day.
It's like, do you clean your room first? My room's the last room I clean.
No, it's the last. So, I'm cleaning the whole house and doing all the laundry for both of us. I wasn't cleaning my room.
Yeah.
So when I got older and got my own place and I was just taking care of myself, I was super clean all the time because it's so easy to take care of one person.
But also you're paying that rent. That's yours.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. And it's my mess. I was living by myself.
A different feeling.
I lived with one roommate after college. And I just am not a roommate person, I don't think, because I don't know why. I like my own space. And I always felt like I was imposing on the roommate. Even though it's my space, I'm paying half the rent. I just felt like, we should negotiate what's on television. We should negotiate.
Right.
And it was too much head work for me. So I was an only child. I didn't grow up with siblings.
You didn't have to share.
So I didn't understand. I always thought I should defer. And then I go, well, why am I always deferring? Well, that's the choice I made because I didn't know how to function in that until I got married. And then I married someone who's never home. So
and so we don't do anything for ourselves. We just take care. It's just Matt, when my kids were little and the mouse, remember, Matt would come home at 11 o'clock at night. Every light in the house is on and I'm still cleaning. And he'll come and go, all the lights. I'm like, oh my God, this place is a mess. Help me. Why don't you help me? And I don't regret cleaning, being crazy like that.
Yeah.
But Matt would say, I'd be like, why don't you pick that up when you walk by it? And he was like, I just don't think like you.
Yeah, same. Bert
And then
they
he
don't
would say,
see it.
Yeah, but then he would say, you like to clean. Oh, that used to make me so mad.
Oh, I know.
Until I found out that I did.
He was right. He was right.
All those years. I go to my girlfriend's shop in Playa del Rey. She has a cute little gift shop and I set up the windows. I want to wash my windows. I'll wash her windows. I help her put out merchandise. I dust because my house is clean now.
Yeah.
So I'm going down to the flower shop so I can get
Okay. I have to tell you something, Margaret. This is pretty adorable. So we've known each other for how long? 20 something years? 20?
It's got to be because you know what?
Plus?
I remember looking at you the night that I realized that the next morning that I was pregnant with Grace and she's 20.
Yeah. So over more than 20
Oh my
years.
God, she was the cutest. What? Ginger. No,
I was Marianne.
Marianne.
I was Marianne and I was with
Gilligan's
Ginger.
Island. Yeah.
Yes.
Alex
totally.
was Ginger. She was the cutest Ginger, right?
Aw.
It was Liz was Ginger.
Oh, wait. What was Alex?
Alex must have been Mrs. Howell.
Oh.
What?
I don't know, because I went with Liz and she was Ginger.
Okay, that's right. You're right. That was a fun night. We used to have so much. Doing LA in your 20s, like Hollywood in our 20s.
It was fun.
I don't regret a minute of it.
It was fun. Yes, this was the pack I ran with before I had kids because
before we came our communities and we needed our villages to help us.
Yes, and their village is too far away. It's too far away.
Look at today. Yeah.
So Bert told me this. So we are in Italy together this summer, right? We're going for vacation. Matt's working there. They're there at the same time. We're meeting up in where were we?
Borghese Villa in Rome.
In Rome. That's right, in Rome. So Matt is still at work. We're all sitting at this long table with her and sister-in-law, Matt's brother, everybody, all our families are all together, huge group, loud in this restaurant. And Matt walks in the room And I wish I had a picture of Bert Kreischer's face. So Matt is Bert's dad hero. And this is why. Bert did not think he wanted to be a dad until he watched Matt be a dad.
Oh, Matt did love it.
And he watched Matt drink, not like irresponsibly, just enjoy himself and enjoy his friends and enjoy his kids and still be a dude who loved his wife and who loved his family. And Matt was the first person he saw where he went, oh, I could do that.
Matt made it look easy.
Oh, I could do
I'm
that.
going to be just like Matt.
And Bert had told me that a long, long time ago, and I'd forgotten about it. And then when Matt walked in the restaurant, Bert was like, it's Matt! It was amazing. It was one of the best moments. I watched Bert's little face and I almost started crying. And then Matt sat down and Bert was like,
I know all the kids. It was cute how they.
It was so cute.
Our kids' table.
Yeah, we had a kids' table and they were all just talking to each other because we haven't hung out as a family in a very,
kids
very
only
long time.
actually know each other via Instagram, I think, or maybe it's the Snapchat, or I don't know what. But they know each other, what each other looks like. They know they all knew each other.
Yeah,
and we've got childhood parties and stuff. But you know what? It happens when you break up and you're in school and you're in your school, you're in your neighborhood.
Yeah.
Your weekends are taken up, and then
I had friends who moved to Calabasas, and I was like, you literally might as well have moved to San Diego.
Yeah.
Or even farther.
Yeah.
Or across the world.
Yeah.
Look, she moved from Detroit from West LA to over here, and I've been to like once a year.
Once a year.
Yeah.
And I haven't been to your house in forever.
Yes, you have to come. I'm doing my bathroom now too. So come wait for that. So
I'll have to come. But yeah, I was like, wow. Not that I forgot, but you're so in the moment of raising these kids with the people that you're with that when we had moved to the Valley and we'd gotten in this elementary school and I got so involved in school and the kids got so involved in their friends and we became this village, I didn't forget our village before, but I feel like
you just grow and it changes.
And it changes. Yeah. And then when we were in Italy, I was like, oh, wait, there's still our village. Yeah. And now we can be a village again because we can travel.
Well, too, and now we came about Isabel. I want Isabel to go to school with Georgia. And they had so much fun together.
They had a blast.
They really did.
Yes, they did.
Yeah.
They had a blast. It was great to see them all together. The last time I remember all our kids being together was that camping trip. Remember that camping trip with Alyssa put her drink through her sunroof?
It sounds like that place. Well, I had an RV. Y'all were dirt camping.
You did have an RV. We were dirt camping.
I didn't even have like a sleeping bag, so I had no choice. But remember we went to Duke's that day on the way home. Remember that? That was so much fun.
Were you in Carpinteria?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. But they had the little tents.
It's one of my favorite campgrounds.
El Capitan, right?
El Capitan. Yeah.
You were at El Cap.
El Capitan. Yes. You're right. That's what it was.
That was fun. And the kids were just fun. And that was fun.
So Georgia was in first grade.
Oh, whoa.
That was first grade.
So Grace was in second.
Yep. So that was the last time I remember all our families being together. And then we moved because we moved here in second grade. And then I don't remember us doing anything big like that again.
We had to, even with Alyssa, like, remember we used to go to each other's houses and they would bring sleeping bags and the kids would spend the night at each other's houses.
Yes.
Because we knew this would be before Uber.
Yeah.
Yes.
Really, Uber changed everything.
Yeah.
But if we knew we were going to be hanging out and drinking and grilling, we'd make it a sleepover with the kids.
So fun.
Yep.
Yeah. By first grade, you kind of stopped doing that.
Yeah. You do. You have to slow it down a little bit. Although I'm not sure Bert ever did. He never really slowed it down.
No, he didn't.
But yeah, it was so cute when Matt walked in Italy. Aww. It was the sweetest thing. I haven't seen Bert look at another person like that in a very long time.
Let's get together soon because he's going to be leaving again in the spring. So.
I agree. Well, top secret. Bert's birthday's coming up. It's his 50th. And we're having a party with his family and we're like staying in a resort, but we were going to have like a Saturday night dinner for everybody to come. Top secret on a podcast.
Wait, are you doing
no one tell.
Are you doing it in Florida or are you doing it
here?
Oh, okay.
Here.
Oh, his parents are coming here.
Parents are coming here. So, but I was like, maybe we'll have a Saturday dinner and we'll invite all our friends and everybody come down. I know it's a bit of a haul, but
well, Matt's down the street.
Uber.
He's alady over here.
My husband.
My entire family lives over here now.
Right. I know. It's a long Uber, but we'll stay tuned.
Okay.
I'm trying to plan it. I have 2 resorts that I'm trying to figure out. So I haven't figured out which resort yet. Once I get it booked, I'll send the email for everybody to come to dinner. Say happy 50th.
That'll be fun.
That'll be fun.
All right. So, what do you anticipate this year bringing for you? Anything different? One kid down, one to go.
Yeah, I mean, I have a year to before I have to start going down that road again. But we are kind of in a preparation year for that. Again, they're so different. So she needs like a lot of executive skill work. So we're working on that, on organization and stuff like that, because I guess maybe seeing everything he does is helping me realize what she needs.
That's good.
Yeah. But I mean, he didn't come home for Thanksgiving last year and he's coming home this year. So I'm really excited about that.
Yeah.
And we're going to go twice in spring during his season. So I'll get to looking forward to both those trips too. But yeah, it was
How
just
long does he
so
come home
nice.
for Christmas?
He only gets 3 weeks.
Oh gosh, Grace is home for 43 days. Not like I counted, but
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, summer was so nice. It was just so nice having him here and having just like a regular feeling like normal family stuff. Again, we went camping and just you guys talking about camping. And I was thinking in my head, I was like, oh, like maybe we do that. And then I thought, no, that would be too sad. Because we've done like every campground in California with our kids.
Yeah.
And for us to do it without them I'd be really sad.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure there'd be all these families there and I'd be like, that was us. You know? So I don't think I want to do that. I just need my tiny home.
Yeah. Tiny home village. I'll work on it.
Thank you.
Work in progress.
Thank you. Okay. So yeah, I just, I mean, we're in the schedule. It is what it is. Like I've kind of accepted that in my heart that this is where we are now.
Yeah.
And like try even as hard as it is, someday I'll miss this.
yeah.
Someday I'll miss that he was in college and came home.
Mm.
So I'm trying to like be present and focus on what's nice about this time in our lives.
Right. That's really good, Jeannie.
Trying.
That's really good.
Yeah, that's how I feel after reading that 95% of our time with them is gone. Like the time that I have with her now is just so, and then knowing that with my youngest, but getting Isabel ready for school, it's a lot. I'm not looking forward to anything about this year.
Yeah.
I'm not. I don't want, I actually am more worried about next year when they're both gone. I'm really worried about that. I'm really, really worried about me like moving on down there and living near them or something. I keep looking at places in La Jolla. I'm like, Grace, I could live here at least a few days a week. But I don't know. I'm not looking forward to anything about this year. I don't like giving my kids up. I'm going to have to get another animal.
Yeah. But you'll get to travel.
I'll get to travel. I will.
And Matt travels a lot.
Yeah, but he travels different. Like, well, okay, for next summer, we thought we were going to be in England. And I was so excited. Well, now it's Atlanta. And I'm like, babe, I might not see you.
You may be on your own.
Because I've had 3 summers in Atlanta. 3.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Atlanta's awfully hot in the
It's
summer.
so hot.
It's awfully hot. If you're not on
You're
some
chasing
body of
air
water-
conditioning. That's what you're doing.
Yep.
You're chasing you go from a Starbucks to a bookstore to a mall. I can't tell you how many times I did that Coca-Cola tour. Really, how much do you need to know about Coca-Cola? The aquarium of the American, you name it in Atlanta, we have done it.
Yeah.
If it had Jimmy Carter Library, really good air conditioning.
Yep. Top-notch air conditioning.
Top
Super cool.
notch. Yes. Ebenezer Church has air conditioning. I can name every place in Atlanta with air conditioning.
Yeah, because it's rough in the summer unless you're at a body of water.
Yeah.
And in that water
Yeah.
is
Maybe if
hard.
y'all are out there, we'll come out and go see you.
Yeah, we're out there every summer.
Okay, well, maybe we'll work
sure.
that out. I don't know. I do want to take the girls on a trip. That's the only thing I am looking forward to. Because we're not going, because Mount's going to be in Atlanta, I'm going to take the girls on a trip, just the 3 of us.
Oh, fun.
Yeah.
Where are you going to go? Do you know?
We're texting, we're talking about it, we're deciding. I want to go a place I haven't been.
Yeah.
And we were supposed to go to Ireland before COVID. We had a family was going to get married and they ended up getting married and not going to Ireland. So we're still like, what? We got robbed. So maybe Ireland, you would come?
That'd be fun.
And take your
That'd
girls
be
with us. Let's
good.
go next summer.
That'd be awesome.
I want to do the trip from one end to the other.
Yeah.
Right?
How fun.
I know. Or Greece.
Greece would be great. I've never been to Greece
I've
or
never been to
Ireland.
Greece. I've never been to Ireland.
Neither have I.
No.
Mm-mm.
We have the fully
See,
loaded
these are the
festival
things we're
summer.
going to do.
All right. Well,
Yeah,
I will
I know
keep you
it.
posted on
Keep
the
me
girls'
posted,
trip, 'cause
yeah.
if you guys would jump in if you want.
Yeah.
How much fun would
Heck
that be?
yeah. I love girls' trips.
Yeah.
Well, this year for me, I am looking forward to watching Isla continue to blossom
Mm-hmm.
and Georgia too, because I think Georgia is kind of blossoming.
She certainly is.
I think she is. I think the pandemic was harder on her than we realized, because she's a kind of like pull herself up by the bootstraps kind of girl
Mm-hmm.
and get through it. And I think this is going to be a good year. And I am curious about how, like my fancy date night last night in the hot tub.
Yeah, do that again.
And why I can't do more of that. And Sandy and Kathy came over the other night for drinks, and we had a freaking blast doing nothing in our sweatpants and eating.
Yeah, not getting interrupted. You want to go upstairs and do something. Yeah. There's that good. I'm going to do that tonight.
It's so fun.
That's
That's
what I'll do
nice.
tonight.
Yeah, it is nice.
More of that.
Sometimes we gamble when we're together. That's really fun also, because then Sandy really starts trash talking, and it's really entertaining. So if you give her a little liquor and a little gamble, and we are on the road to fun.
So there's positives. There's like, I like more, there'll be more time for things like that.
And I keep trying to get people to like think about buying a house at where we bought a house at the beach.
I will go up there. I love that. I love that
beach.
neighborhood. That was our first apartment when we were.
That's right. We talked about that
right there. That right before we got married.
Yeah.
Because like, when did you live there, Mom? I'm like, it was 91. We got married in 94. But I love that neighborhood. I would. That's a great place to go. You're smart to do that. That's a great
awesome. There's some people from our elementary school who have started buying second homes up there. And I keep running into people on the beach going, "What are you doing here? I have a house. So do I. It's right here. Oh my God." Yeah. We play flag football every Sunday on the beach. And I'm like, I'm in. So I'm hoping that'll sort of migrate up a little bit too. And then you guys can come and stay with us.
Totally.
And, you guys can come and stay with us. And then
it's
we'll
like slowing ourselves into retirement.
Exactly. To the villages of our own.
We're just having escapes.
Our own little villages.
Yeah.
We go from
you can have a golf cart there for sure.
Oh, 100%.
Although bike riding there is so fun.
We have electric bikes up there.
Oh, that's fun.
They're awesome.
Yeah.
And we have regular bikes too.
Wait, up at the house?
Yeah.
Oh, that'll be fun. Those electric bikes scare me. I see a lot of people, a lot of the LMU kids ride them around my neighborhood.
Yeah.
I don't know why they scare me. Those things in Rome scared me.
Oh, yeah.
Can you believe we let Brett drive? I'm just like, can we talk about that?
Yeah, right.
Did you know he was 12 when he was driving?
Yeah, right.
Yes. We had a 12-year-old driving us. We're drinking through. But not driving. It's not really.
It was a Surrey. A little Surrey.
Oh, fun.
Yeah. It was super fun.
That was fun.
That was very fun. We got drunk and rode Surreys through the Borghese. It was a blast.
And we never found the zoo.
No.
The lake.
No.
The villa.
No. Poor directional operator error. Maybe a little
few Aperol spritzes involved.
Yeah, no spritzes. We were in the park. We had to buy beer.
Oh,
yeah,
lots
of fancy
beer.
Lots of beer,
and we sweat. Did you know? This was crazy. Is how much we drank. How many times did we stop for potty?
None.
That's
we were
how hot it was in Rome.
It was so gross.
It was so gross.
It was very hot. Very fun though.
That's good.
Yeah.
Well, thanks guys for coming and talking to me.
Thanks
you
for having us.
for your long drive.
That's
I know.
okay. I don't
And
mind.
thank you for
know
making
what?
time.
My kids go to school over here, so I'm lucky I don't have to drive over here more often, to be honest.
I know, right?
I'm very lucky.
But Isabel drives now, right?
No. She has a car. She got her for her 16th birthday. She turns 18 in 2 months, and she still has not passed the permit test.
Oh boy.
And at this point, I don't want her driving.
Yeah.
I mean, she's not going to pass a permit test.
Oh, you mean the learner's permit?
The
test.
learner's permit.
Yeah.
She can't even drive her own car with me in it.
Bless her heart.
So, no, Isabel's not driving, but I kind of like it. Because I still get to,
All right. So this is a really funny story quickly about the difference between my kids. So my son and my daughter they share a car, but he's not here half the time. And it's just one of those, a Subaru Crosstrek, and Subaru, the app, and I'm sure a lot of cars have this, will text you when you are exceeding the speed limit, whoever's driving it, for over 60 seconds. We got that text sometimes twice a day from my son when he was just driving to school. And he would come home and I would be like, slow the fuck down. Where are you going in such a rush? Why are you always speeding? So he was just constantly, we were always getting it. So with my daughter, it's the complete opposite. Like, she's a danger for going under the speed limit. And I jokingly, I'm like, can we set that app to let us know she's going 45 on the freeway for 60 seconds or longer?
That's what I'm worried about.
But we were watching a movie one night, my husband and I were, and she was driving home. She had like a late rehearsal at school and she's driving home. So it was later, less traffic. And at the same time, we both grab our phones and go. And it was the first time we'd gotten a text that she had speeded. Oh. And we were like, oh,
you go, girl.
Bless her heart.
She did it.
She came in. Yeah. We didn't even, she walked by and we were like, no.
Do you still track your kids? Do you still track your
I don't have the Life 360, but I have like Find My Phone. So
Okay.
like if I need to see where she is, I can see where she is. And my son, it's really funny. Like now that he's in the suite, like last year he was never in his dorm room because I wouldn't want to be in there either if it was dark all the time. But he is now always in his suite. Like I'm like, do you leave your room?
Oh my God.
He's like, no, it's so awesome. We can have people over. They put a putting green in a hallway. They have a beer pong table. He's like, why would I leave? But yeah, so that was kind of so she's you don't have to worry about her speeding. But she's like the little and like she gets where she's going. Yeah.
That's like me. I don't
Just
drive
a little
fast.
slower than most.
I'm driving a slow lane. Do you track Georgia?
I don't, but her dad does.
Well, I have a lot of friends who say you can't do that. They're like, "Why you can't do that? You have to stop." I'm like, "Why? I'm not going to stop until she figures it out." And
The only
blocks me.
time I look for her is if I haven't heard from her in an unusually long amount of time.
yeah,
And then I go,
yeah.
well, what's she doing?
Yeah, I
Like,
love it.
and
I don't call her on it, but I
no,
track
no,
her.
I don't either. And I just want to know that she's okay.
Mhm.
That's all.
Yeah.
But I don't. Bert is like constantly like, where is she? What's she doing? Like he was like, she'd been up there for like 3 days, and he's in the next room and he goes, she's at a park. She's at a park. It's 11 o'clock at night. What's she doing in a park? And I go on Live 360 and I go, she's outside her dorm. That is the lawn outside her dorm. She's not in a park. She's sitting outside her dorm. She's fine. What are you doing?
That
You
was me
have
the
to
first year.
call-
You know what the best
down.
purpose of that of Find My Phone or Life 360 is for me is my fear always is because my daughter's not great about making sure her phone is charged. And if she's going to be anywhere for any period of time, I'm always like, did you bring a charger? Do you have the portable charger? Do you have, because that's my biggest fear is her being in any sort of situation where now she has no communication.
Yeah.
Right.
And so I literally will be like, you know, I'll look at it and see she's like 13% life back. And I'm like,
I didn't know you could see that.
I'll just
yeah, you
text
can.
her and be like, hey, you want to find a plug?
Yeah. Right.
And she's like, ooh, yeah.
yeah. Good call, Mom.
Because I know she has 2 more hours of wherever she is. And I'm like,
But I'll tell you this, we had a little spell where Georgia was lying to me about where she was going and what she was doing. And I busted her on Life 360 because she was supposed to be home by midnight or call me and tell me if she wasn't coming home by midnight, why and where she was, right? And I just got this sneaky suspicion one time. I was like, I don't think she's telling me the truth. And I looked and she fucking wasn't. She was lying. And then I went, okay, busted. I can't have you lie to me. You can do all these other things.
it's not
I
like
get
you're
it.
so strict.
But I am not strict.
Yeah.
Hey, your curfew's midnight. If you're not going to make it, I need to know, right? You don't need to call me if you're walking in the door at midnight. If you're walking in at 12:15, I'm headed home. If you decided to sleep over at so-and-so's house, let me know. That's all I'm asking, you know? But this one time I was like, I just don't believe that's where she is. I just don't, it was some gut. And I was like, well, I'm just going to look. I never track her like on any kind of like, where is she going? What's she doing? And she wasn't. And I busted her. And then she did it again because now I started being suspicious. And then she did it again. And then I busted her again on it. And I said, are you stupid? I have Life 360. If you're going to keep lying to me, I'm going to keep checking on it. If you start telling me the truth, I'll stop checking it again because I wasn't checking it for a long, long time. And all of a sudden you're lying to me. Now I got to see when you're lying. I don't even actually care that you're going to the other place.
Yeah, just need to know.
Just need to know. That's all.
Totally.
It's the secret, sneaky part I don't like and the lying.
Well, at least she doesn't like hide her location and go, oh, that was a glitch.
Oh, she did.
Everything's a glitch in my house.
Oh, for a long
because
time.
Grace would be
I
like,
don't
I'm
know
like,
what happens.
Yeah. I would text her, turn your location back on. Oh, it's broken.
Same. We got the same.
I'm like, get yourself a new phone.
Yeah, right.
Oh my
Why don't you do an
God.
update? Turn it
That's
off and on, and then we'll
hilarious.
talk about it.
Yeah, no, they turn it off.
Yeah. Off. Totally off.
Yeah. Here's what the best thing about this summer. So I didn't get to spend the whole summer with Grace because she came home. We got to spend 1 month together in Rome or 6 weeks. She came home and then Isabel came. So they missed each other. They didn't even get to spend the summer together. They missed each other. They were literally flying across.
the
One
same
was
time.
coming, one was leaving the same day. But I did like when Grace like started telling me things like, oh, Mom, okay, remember that time I was supposed to be at AJ's? Like we were really, like the things that I didn't catch.
Yeah.
And I thought, that's when my girlfriend's like, I can't believe you're not supposed to track a 20-year-old.
Oh, right.
And I'm like, but I paid that phone bill. Like, and then I know you're not supposed to talk to your friends. I was going to ask you, like, at what point do we have to stop tracking them?
Well, I kind of, like I said, I don't really track her now unless I'm
like
worried
where she
about
just
her.
blocks you, like you can't, like Grace.
Oh,
Because so she doesn't know this. Grace doesn't know this, but when we were in Rome, I made her, especially when they were going out, when her friends were there.
Yeah.
I'm like, you have to share your location with me.
You never stop tracking them.
There you go. There you go. All right.
You never stop tracking them. And fucking.
I told the story about the look on your face when Matt came in the restaurant.
Who?
In Italy. Matt.
Oh, yeah. That was funny shit.
That was so
Almost
much.
forgot about that.
You know
for
what,
a
too?
second.
I was in Rome for a long time. That was one of the best days I had.
It was so
It
fun.
was a fucking great day.
Yeah.
And I'm still tracking my daughter. And if she's listening, I'm fucking tracking her. And by the way, I'm putting out messages on Instagram. If anyone sees my daughter on campus, tell her to call her dad.
There you go. That's a good one.
Not
That's cute.
cool.
Well, I like tracking because I like just know. I just want to know. And I probably look at it too often, but I don't ever call her on it. I'm not like, she doesn't know though. That's what it is. We were in Rome and she had to share her location with me. And because at some point it glitched after Christmas and it never went back on. I couldn't get her to turn, in their olden days, I'd go up in their room and I would do it, but now I can't. So we were in Rome. We'd share location and she doesn't realize she's still sharing with me.
Hopefully she won't listen to this.
Yeah, I was about to say, you just totally blew your cover.
But I do love it though, just so I can say I never call her, care where she is. You know what I mean? Like I've seen, I can tell where she's. I know there's this bar in San Diego that I like to go to. It's called Trailer Park.
Oh.
And I'm like, I can zoom. I'm like, I know you're at Trailer Park, but I don't tell her.
Yeah.
I don't care. I mean, what can I do? She's 20.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
But it does
Isn't that
give
what
me
college
peace of
is
mind.
about?
Yeah. It gives you peace of mind.
Yeah. So I'm like, why would
Yeah.
you? Why is it is it invading their privacy that I do that?
I don't know. Is it? That's a good question.
I don't know either. I guess it depends on how often. I don't know. I really don't know. I think it just is whatever people are comfortable with. Just do it.
And maybe how your kid feels about it.
Well, she wouldn't be sharing her location with me. I don't think.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think at this point, she's not trying to keep it.
Yeah. She probably doesn't care.
So,
She's 20.
yeah, I hope she doesn't care. But I do like it. And I don't want her to stop doing it. So I don't want to say anything about her or ever actually let her know that I know, because then she can just go and, the glitch.
Yeah, right.
That glitch.
She'll glitch it.
She'll glitch it.
All right. Well, I'm going to let you guys go home.
All right.
This is fun.
It was nice to see you both. I love you both very, very
I
much.
love you.
We're
Love you.
such good friends
Oh,
and good people.
We're going to grow old together. We'll all be fun old ladies together.
I know.
Tiny
we'll
home
figure it out.
village.
I
Tiny
got all
home
sorts
village.
of new ideas of things tonight, of things that we're gonna do.
I know. I
I'm
agree.
feeling more optimistic.
Totally good.
Yeah.
I am too. Thank you for sharing all this. I appreciate it. I think it was really helpful for me, because when I said to my therapist last week, I was like, I'm surprised I'm not more emotional. I thought I would be. And she said, you've been preparing for this for a while.
Mm-hmm.
I think I started preparing last year
Mm-hmm.
when I watched the two of you
Mm-hmm.
on Instagram or Facebook or wherever go. And then I went, oh shit, that's me
Mm-hmm.
in 1 year. I better have a conversation about this and see what I'm supposed to be doing or dealing with or expecting. So thanks for sharing a year ago and coming back again. I appreciate it. Thank
Yeah,
you.
I wish I did know. I'm glad that we discussed. I wish I knew. I had no idea how. I guess maybe I don't know. Maybe it's good not to know
I don't know.
how sad you're
I
gonna
don't know either.
be.
But everyone responds and act. I don't even know that there's a way of knowing, because it's so personal how you deal with it that everyone's different.
Yes, probably true. All right. Well, thanks, guys.
Thank you.